Welcome to Zone 864 TV. Whether you're watching on Twitter or YouTube, I am your host, Mr. Zone 864 himself, again on Zone 864 TV. This is going to be a brief clip, a brief video. Don't plan on spending too much time on this subject. Most of us who are familiar with sports, familiar with the NFL, we're aware of the situation that's going on with Deshaun Watson. It's really not too much that needs to be explained, rehashed, although I'm going to rehash a few things. Do me a favor, as you guys are coming into the video, whether you're watching on Twitter or YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, please hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments, all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is trying to grow just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to grow just a little bit on some of these platforms here. So hitting that like button is a big help. Hitting that subscribe button is a big help. And hitting that follow button, if you're watching on Twitter, is a big help. And if you feel the need to share this video, you can also do that as well. I don't got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody might actually like the stuff that I say. So maybe if you share it, you know what I'm saying, help me get the word out there. We can all grow together. But thank you guys for tuning in. Nonetheless, going to be talking about Mr. Deshaun Watson today. Got some updates for you on that. Deshaun Watson. Let's see what we got here. And also, if you are watching on Twitter and you want to know my YouTube and you want to go over to my YouTube, I am at Zone 864 TV on YouTube. Probably one of the easiest YouTube channels to find. The same way that you see it on Twitter is exactly how it is on YouTube, Zone 864 TV. If you want to go on over there and subscribe if you're watching this on Twitter. Your boy, Deshaun Watson. So for many people, most of us know that, he's been in a situation the past couple of years where he's had a bunch of women come out and accuse him of doing inappropriate sexual acts when he is getting massages, getting, I guess, athletic treatment, things of this nature. Whatever athletes do, when it comes to, taking care of their bodies, sometimes you got to touch all up on them, massage certain areas and stretch certain areas and stuff like that. So Deshaun Watson has been accused of, doing some inappropriate things, I guess, inappropriate touching. Some of these women that have accused him of doing inappropriate things has said that he has, I guess, made advances on them, asking him to touch him and rub him in certain places where the sun don't shine. And again, these are accusers. These accusations are all alleged because, to my knowledge, he hasn't been found guilty in a court of law, but there has been the settling of a lot of those cases. I think it's like 20 or 30 women, or something of that nature, that has came forward and accused him of that type of behavior. Let's see here. Just want to take a look at the article. We're going to read the article. We're going to read the article on ESPN.com. We're talking sports today. I know a lot of people may not, think that I'm into sports like that. And you're right. I'm actually not into sports like that. But the funny thing is, I played sports all my life. I'm a former athlete, played football all my life, ran track and field. and cross country in high school. I've always been a person that try to stay in somewhat a decent shape. Although I am guilty of slacking off this past year and a half, so I really need to get back into the gym, get back on the weights. You know what I'm saying? Get back on the cardio a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get my nutrition game back on point. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to be out here sexy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be out here looking nice and stuff. I ain't talking just about the summertime. I'm talking about all year long. I look decent now, but I need to get back to a place where I used to be. You know what I'm saying? You might as well be in shape. You might as well be sexy. You might as well look pleasing to the eye, especially while you're young, because you're only young once. You feel me? But that's neither here nor there. All right, so I'm gonna pull up this information, ESPN.com. Going to read the article, and then we are out of here. Let me go ahead and pull that up. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so once again, we're going to be taking a look at an article from ESPN.com. Again, please, as you guys are coming in to the video, because this is not a live. This is actually live on Twitter, but it's not live on YouTube. This is actually a pre-record for YouTube. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button if you're watching on Twitter. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. Okay, so Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson suspended for 11 games and fined $5 million after settlement between NFL and NFLPA. Let's see what they're saying here in this article. As I try to sound like an idiot while I read over these words. I'm college educated. I can't read, but sometimes when you get on the screen, you start stumbling over words and stuff like that. People think you can't read and they think you're an idiot and they think you stupid and all that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens out of nervousness, but I assure you that if I'm stumbling and fumbling over words, I can actually read. Okay. The NFL and the NFL Players Association on Thursday reached a settlement in the Deshaun Watson disciplinary matter, agreeing that the Cleveland Browns quarterback will serve an 11-game suspension without pay after he was accused by more than 24 women of sexual misconduct during massage sessions. Watson will also pay a fine of $5 million and undergo mandatory evaluation by behavior experts and follow suggested treatment program. That sounds mighty sex offenderish. I mean, it's one thing for activity to happen between two grown adults, but when you have like a grown man and a grown woman, yeah, that sounds mighty segs. I'm trying not to say the word because these bots, they pick up on certain words and stuff like that. Yeah, that sounds kind of crazy. They're talking about, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Watson's fine and contribution from both the NFL and Browns of $1 million each will create a fund to support non-profit organizations in the United States that educate young people on healthy relationships, promote education and prevention of sexual misconduct and assault, support survivors and related causes, the NFL said in announcing the settlement. Watson's suspension will take effect August 30th when NFL teams cut down the cut down to the roster limit of 53 players. He will be eligible for reinstatement November 28th and will be available to play for the Browns again in Week 13 when Cleveland faces his old team, the Houston Texans, on the road. Now, I want to talk about that really quickly because initially, if I'm not wrong, because like I said, you know what I'm saying, I see certain headlines, and I just kind of skim through information when I seen it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read an article a few weeks ago that stated that he was going to be suspended for 5 games. And personally, honestly, for me, 5 to 6 games actually sounds pretty reasonable. And the reason that sounds pretty reasonable for me is because it's not like he was actually convicted of anything. It's not like he's somebody out here that's randomly sexually assaulting women. It's not like he's graping women. So 5 to 6 game suspension initially, that actually sounded pretty decent for me. I do think the 11 game suspension is a bit of a stretch, but what I want to point out is notice that there's no shortage of genius behind that suspension. Understand, the NFL makes billions and billions of dollars each year. We know that, the Super Bowl people watch the Super Bowl for primarily the halftime show and to see the crazy commercials. So, how ironic is that they suspend them, that the suspension goes from 5 to 6 games. Now we're at 11 games. And it just so happens that in Week 13, when he comes back, when he's eligible to play his first game, that he's going against his old team, which is the Houston Texans on the road. So you got to understand that, yes, he is being punished for his actions, but it's also a genius marketing move by the NFL as well. So understand that when the NFL does things, it's not by coincidence. Everything is planned. Everything is strategized. So, it's no coincidence that he's going to be eligible to play when he gets back home, when he gets back on the field on November 28th against his old team, the Houston Texans. Moving on. Watson has to comply with evaluation and treatment recommendations of a third-party behavioral expert to be reinstated. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter, if Watson doesn't comply with the treatment plan, which I'm pretty sure he will, his reinstatement could be delayed and could receive further discipline, the sources said. Let me see here. And then we have a paragraph in quotations here. I'm not sure who this is talking. I'm not sure if this is Watson or somebody from the team, but it says, I'm grateful that the disciplinary process has ended and extremely appreciative of the tremendous support I have throughout my short time with the Browns organization, Watson said. Okay, so this is Deshaun Watson making a statement. Watson said in a statement released by the Browns, I apologize once again for any pain this situation has caused. I take accountability for the decisions I made. My focus going forward is on working to become the best version of myself on and off the field and supporting my teammates however possible. When I'm away from the field, when I'm away from the team, I'm excited about what the future holds for me in Cleveland. Bum ass Cleveland. There's nothing to be excited about going to Cleveland. He's excited to be getting paid again and play football again, but there's nothing excited about Cleveland or the Cleveland Browns. Moving on. Let's see. It says here, Watson later met with media Thursday, however, and maintained his innocence, which if you're innocent, you should maintain your innocence. Never fold under public pressure. If you truly are innocent, always maintain your innocence. And even if you did do something, let the court actually prove you guilty. Always maintain your innocence. We live in a day where the court of public opinion is so heavily weighed that a lot of people tend to get caught up in that, and they just, innocent people are saying they're guilty just so that they don't have to deal with whatever's going to come from a court system whenever there are legal matters involved. So always maintain your innocence, which is good. He's doing that. We got some more information in quotations here. It says, I'll continue. Okay, this is from Watson again. I'll continue to stand on my innocence. Just because, settlements and things like that happen doesn't mean that a person is guilty of anything, which is correct. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of times it's actually cheaper to do a settlement. Obviously we have a new football season coming around. And so just because a person actually settles doesn't necessarily mean that they're guilty. So a lot of people will settle because they just don't want to deal with the ongoing legal headache. But you have to be very careful about things like that, because settling too many times or settling on the wrong thing can ruin your reputation forever. So, you really have to be careful about what you choose to settle on. He goes on to say, I feel like a person has an opportunity to stand on his innocence and prove that, and we prove that from a legal side, and just going to continue to push forward as an individual and as a person. Watson, let's see here. Watson also said he wants to someday tell his side of the story, which, coming out of this whole Me Too era thing and all of this women blaming men for, all of these sexual things, when, in my personal opinion, a lot of these women that tend to blame men when it comes to sex and things like that, a lot of these women are compliant and they are complicit with the demands. And maybe the man may have promised them money and the man didn't promise them money, or the man may have promised them a certain position in an organization or some type of job, and it didn't happen. So, man, you got to be careful about messing with these women, because these women today, a lot of them are out to destroy you. They're not trying to be your friend. They're not even trying to be your lover. They're just trying to get a quick buck and a fuck. So be very careful on how you choose to deal with these women. Let's see. Watson also said he wants to tell his side of the story someday. And then he goes on to say, that's definitely the plan. That's definitely the goal. He said, I feel like through the whole process, I've been trying to tell my side of the story. Of course, you've been trying to tell your side of the story, but nobody wants to hear your side of the story because everybody likes to play victim. And we live in a weird era where, people will believe the lie more than they believe the truth. Anyway, continuing. But a lot of people just didn't pay a lot of attention to it. Of course not. Of course not. Watson was asked what he was apologizing for in his statement Thursday and in past comments. He says that he goes on to say that he's apologizing for everyone that was affected by the situation. There was a lot of people that were triggered, he said. He added that he has apologized to all women. So anybody that was affected. When asked to clarify whether his apologies were specifically to the women who made allegations against him, Brown's co-owner, Dee Haslam, when asked about Watson's comments about his innocence, said Thursday, "We respect his opinion. I do think in counseling, Deshaun will learn a lot about himself." The coach also goes on to say, counseling takes time. You don't need to go. You do not just go to a counseling session. We wake up and understand the impact it has. I think it's a layering effect, and it takes weeks, months, and a long time to get to where you understand so much more about yourself, she said. Oh, so this is a woman talking. Okay. I think Deshaun has made progress from the time he's came here to now. He's making progress, but it's not going to happen overnight. He's 26 years old and he is getting into counseling. It is going to take some time. Okay, that's the end of what she was saying. Brown's co-owner, Jim Haslam, said that he believes in second chances, which I believe in second chances too, as long as the prior offense wasn't too egregious. Okay, so then this is Brown's co-owner, Jerry Haslam, speaking on the issue. Oh, the screen is really bright. I should have toned down the brightness on it. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Maybe that might help. I'm like, man, this thing is like really bright in my face, yo. Okay. I think in this country and hopefully in the world, people deserve second chances. I really think that, he said. Is he never supposed to play again? Is he never supposed to be a part of society again? Does he get no chance to rehabilitate himself? That is what we're going to do. We think people deserve a second chance. That does not mean we do not have empathy for people affected, and we will continue to do so. But we strongly believe that people deserve a second chance. We believe Deshaun Watson deserves a second chance. Watson, who started the Browns preseason opener against Jacksonville Jaguars on Friday, will not play again this preseason, Coach Kevin Stefanski said Thursday. The settlement between the two sides heads off a ruling from former New Jersey Attorney General Peter C. Harvey, whom Commissioner Roger Goodell appointed to oversee the NFL appeal of disciplinary officer Sue L. Robinson's decision that Watson will be issued a 6-game suspension. See, and that's like I was just saying a few minutes ago. At first, the suspension was 5, and then it was 6. Now it's 11. Anyway, continuing. Deshaun has committed to doing the hard work on himself that is necessary for him to return to the NFL, Goodell said in a statement. This settlement requires compliance with a professional evaluation and treatment plan, a significant fine, and a more substantial suspension. We are grateful to Judge Robinson and Peter Harvey for their efforts in addressing these matters, which laid the foundation for reaching his conclusion. Robinson, an independent arbiter jointly appointed by the league and players union, originally ruled August 1st that Watson would serve a 6-game suspension that would not be fined for violating league's personal conduct policy, writing a 16-page report that the NFL carried its burden to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that Mr. Watson engaged in sexual assault as defined by the NFL against the 4 therapists identified in the report. Goodell, in explaining the league's decision to appeal Robinson's ruling, said that the evidence called for at least a full year suspension. So they was trying to suspend the man for a whole year. In the statement released Thursday, the Haslam said We understand this is a real opportunity to create meaningful change, and we are committed to investing in programs in Northeast Ohio that will educate our youth regarding awareness, understanding, and most importantly, prevention of sexual misconduct and many underlying causes of such behavior. Watson has been accused of sexual assault and other inappropriate conduct during massage therapy sessions in lawsuits filed by 25 women. The actions alleged in the lawsuits took place from March 2020 to March 2021. While Watson was a member of the Texans, one of the 25 lawsuits was dropped after a judge's ruling in April 21 that the plaintiffs needed to amend their petitions to disclose their names. 2 other women filed criminal complaints against Watson but did not sue him. Watson has settled or agreed to settle, but one of the remaining lawsuits, which remains pending. Let me read that again. Watson has settled or agreed to settle all but one of the remaining lawsuits, which remains pending. In July, the Texans reached settlements with 30 women. Man, that's sheesh, man. They're trying to make this dude seem like RK. I'm gonna just say the initials. If y'all don't know whose initials that is, I don't know where y'all been the last 30 years. Anyway, the Texans reached settlements with 30 women who made claims or were prepared to make them against the NFL organization, what attorney Tony Busby called its alleged enabling of Watson's behavior. It's a long article, man. The message today to all victims is clear. If you believe you have been sexually assaulted by a powerful person, keep your mouth shut and go away. Busby, who represents the women who sued Watson, said in reaction to Thursday's settlement, the NFL has certainly demonstrated that its ownership and the organization doesn't care. To all sexual assault survivors, do not allow this recent punishment to deter you. So basically, this dude, Tony Busby, is basically saying, if you think that you've been sexually assaulted by a person with money, power, and fame, come on out anyway. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. The NFL is not handling this the right way. He's still being able to play. They still going to let him on the field. So if there's any more people who feel like they've been inappropriately touched, if you think that he even looked at you wrong, please come out because I'm trying to get some more money, and I'm not really able to get paid because they're going to let him play again. And he's settling with the survivors. That's basically what I got from what I just read there. Moving on. Let's see. Keep speaking up and keep speaking out. Your voice matters. You are making a difference. We stand with you. Although 2 grand juries in Texas declined to pursue criminal charges against Watson earlier this year, the NFL had been investigating whether he violated its personal conduct policy since 2001. The league interviewed Watson over multiple days earlier this summer. The NFL investigators also spoke to several women. In her report, which concluded Watson violated the personal conduct policy with egregious and predatory behavior. Robinson noted that an aggravated factor in her decision to suspend Watson for 6 games was his lack of expressed remorse. After previously denying all wrongdoing and saying he had no regrets for any of his actions during the massage sessions, Watson publicly apologized to all the women I have affected Friday before Cleveland's preseason opener. The Browns traded for Watson in March. Let's see. Okay, so that I'm skipping past that because that ain't saying nothing. Watson's contract with the Browns guarantees him a league record $230 million with a base salary that will jump to $46 million in 2023 and a $96.5 million signing bonus. $44,096,000 signing bonus. So, okay, still getting paid. And I think that's the reason why people are so upset is because it seems like he came out even better. He came out of the situation even better than he went into it. I think this might be a better contract that than he had when he was with Texans. But when he was with the Texans, but typically in sports, usually your second contract is typically better. So I guess it's deserved, I guess. Yet because Cleveland structured his contract to include a 2022 base salary of $1,035,000. Let's see. Watson was going to lose nearly $57,500 per game suspended without the $5 million fine imposed in the settlement. Watson's total loss pay this season will be $632,500. So that's not bad. $632,500 is not bad. That's how much he's going to be losing. And finally, we're coming up on the end of the article here. Stefanski said that, at the start of training camp, that Jacob Brissett will become Cleveland's starter in the event of Watson's suspension, and indicated recently that he has been very impressed with Brissett thus far. Very comfortable, Stefanski said. I think he has a very good understanding of what we're trying to do offensively. Despite being a backup for much of his career, Brissett has 37 starts and a record of 14-23. And that is the article via ESPN.com. I just wanted to read that to give you guys an update on what's going on with Deshaun Watson and to keep everybody abreast of what's going on in the sports world. My whole take, because I've been covering Deshaun Watson and the legalities of what's been going on with him since the beginning, and reporting on it, talking about it, stuff like that. I mean, the whole thing is just very egregious to begin with. Like it's why are you hiring 20 and 30 women to massage? You know what I'm saying? For a massage, get you 1, 2, maybe even 3 good massage therapists. Just in case one gets sick, just in case one goes out of town. You got 3 good massage therapists, because that's what it's about anyway, is the massage. It's not about, any type of erotic foreplay and stuff like that. And if that's something that you into, then, you might want to go and talk to the older NFL players and have them put you up on game. You gotta be, they, you know what I'm saying? You have questions, because trust me, these NFL players, you know, they do all kind of things. Athletes that have money, they do all kind of things. But it's certain, once you get that money, you know, and you're a well-known public figure like that, you can't just go out here willy-nilly and think that you could just do any and everything you want. And then, you know, your behavior and the activities you do behind closed not be put out there. That's not the way that it works. So, you know, if you one of these players out here in one of these leagues, whether it's the NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever, if you are somebody that's playing in one of these leagues, then you need to not be ashamed, and you need to talk to these older players and let them put you up on game about how to move. Let them put you up on game about how these situations can go down. You feel me? Because clearly the way that he handled the situation was very messy. Otherwise, the situation wouldn't have even happened. Another thing that I want to point out as well is, you know, these guys, these athletes, they got to be really careful when it comes to this money, when it comes to these organizations giving them these tens and hundreds of $millions, because understand that that Deshaun Watson, you know, he played with the Houston Texans, but understand that none of this didn't happen until you know, he was until he was ready to actually end his contract in Houston. You know, and Houston wanted to keep him, but he didn't want to stay because Houston was trading all the good players. And it sounds to me like he actually wants to win a championship. It sounds to me like he's not a player. He's not one of these players that just want to play the game, get the fame, and get the money. So you got to be very careful. You know what I'm saying? You can't understand that, you know, when you're signing these $1 million deals, you're not just a regular person out in the public like me. You know what I'm saying? With me, I could probably get away with stuff because I ain't nobody, ain't got no fame. You know, I could probably do some crazy stuff and get away with it out here because I'm a nobody out here. I'm not Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? I don't got hundreds of millions of dollars. You're gonna waste your time trying to take me into court for what? You feel me? So Deshaun Watson, man, I hope you learned your lesson. Please don't get caught up in any more nonsense. You're a great player. I see you winning the Super Bowl. You're very talented. You've overcame the odds. You know, you played college football in my home state of South Carolina at Clemson. Even though I'm not a Clemson fan, I'm a University of South Carolina Gamecock fan. You know, I admired your talents when you was there, man. You was a beast, man. You know, you remind me of a young Cam Newton, man. I mean, and who knows, you might even be better than Cam Newton, but Cam Newton's my guy. So again, you guys do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that follow button if you're watching on Twitter, share this if you want to. And, you know, thank you guys for rocking with me this evening. I said this was going to be quick, but we going on like 40 minutes. But anyway, again, thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. Y'all be safe out here. Young men, don't be doing no foolishness out here. Don't be playing with these women and these young ladies out here because they will get you in trouble. They will try to find a way to take everything you got. So you got to be very careful. You know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody with experience, even if it's something crazy you want to talk to them about. Talk to somebody with experience so they can put you up on game and tell you how to move. But with that being said, thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.